can see the men grow and change and move on.
It's really rewarding. I think beneficial to the men.
I can see my actual charitable work and my money come to complete fruition.
iHelp, first of all, iHelp stands for Interfaith Homeless Emergency Lodging Program, and it's a rotating shelter that provides services to homeless men.
Many churches in the Monterey Peninsula are a part of iHelp. The men are bused to different locations each night, and so quite a few churches host the men or provide meals to the men, and they're really at a different place every night of the month. They have a bus that picks them up in the afternoon and then takes them to wherever they're going to be staying in the evening.
What makes iHelp unique to other shelters is that it is a partnership between a nonprofit and the faith community. And what I mean by that is the faith community, which is comprised of 65 different faith communities on the peninsula and in Salinas, provide the shelter for the men, meal, a beautiful home-cooked meal, as well as fellowship. And the nonprofit, which happens to be Shelter Outreach Plus, provides the transportation, shower facilities, clothing, the mats and the blankets that the men use to sleep, as well as case management, which includes supportive services, referrals, resources, with the aim being self-sufficiency.
I believe it gives them a sense of self-worth, that they are back in the normal part of the human race, or what we all consider normal.
The goal of the iHelp program is to hopefully get a man to a point where he's self-sufficient, where he's no longer homeless or challenged.
It gives me a chance to show the love of God to other people. I don't have to talk about God. I can if I want to. We always pray before we eat. Everybody needs somebody to listen to them and to acknowledge that they are there. So it's an opportunity for me to listen to other people, to maybe give them a pat on the back, to tell them good job. Basically, I'm there to listen, to affirm, and to love.
One of the really neat things about volunteering with iHelp is that it's a hands-on experience. Not only do you get to provide a meal for the men, but you also get to sit down and have a meal with them. It's during that time that you can have some good conversations, find out a little bit about their background, provide some encouragement, or just a chance to listen to them. Some of these guys don't have anybody to talk to, and so it can be a lonely time in their lives, and so just to be able to listen and talk and treat them as a human being is really one of the more beautiful things.
We have one friend who is homeless who had a heart attack, and when he was in the hospital he asked for us to come and visit him because we reminded him of his parents, and so we did.
There is a common misconception that all homeless people are drug and alcoholics, and there's some truth to that application. But it's to a percentage of homeless people. Yes, some homeless people are drug and alcoholics, but some homeless people are also mentally ill. Some homeless people are veterans that suffer from post-traumatic stress. Maybe they could have fought in Vietnam even, or in the Gulf War, or experienced maybe not even being in a war, but maybe a battlefield in their home that created them to have this post-traumatic stress syndrome that they suffer from.
The men that are involved in the iHelp program are actually screened to make sure that none of them are and do have any substance abuse and that sort of thing. So the men come from all different types of backgrounds. Some are old, some are young. But they do have the one thing in common, which is they need help and they need a place to stay and they need a meal.
So homelessness doesn't just have one face. They're not just all drug and alcoholics.
I can see the men grow and change and move on. Some don't, and that's sad, but that's also life. There's one particular man that I've gotten to know over the last year. I've watched him grow, I've watched him change, I've watched him lead other people to God. and I've watched him bring others to iHelp and to the other various organizations and places where we meet with the homeless. It makes me feel good when I see them on the street and they say hello to me and I say hello to them.
It's an opportunity by providing stable shelter and food and clothing and all the supportive services that as a result a man doesn't have to worry about where he's going to sleep, where he's going to eat, where he's going to shower. All these needs are taken care of, which will give him the opportunity to focus on employment, applying for benefits, going to school, getting into a treatment program. There are many different variables, and homelessness doesn't just have one face. And so, but the ultimate goal is self-sufficiency.
It helps them grow, it helps them feel important, and it helps them to know that they know somebody that lives here and is solid and is squared away.
There's many different avenues and many different ways to accomplish the same end, which is ultimately to break a cycle or to help a man that's homeless live indoors and not be homeless anymore.